What is up, everyone, and welcome to Studio Day Hifrey. It's nice to see you. It's good to see you. We got a few things I wanted to hit on this morning, including a couple of Cowboys that are on the trade block. Got a couple of Cowboys on the trade block. One man that it's been announced he has made the team, so that's nice. And then a couple of nuggets on how easy it's going to be for the Cowboys to get their roster where they want it to be, okay? Great. Sounds like a plan. So, I was talking to some folks. I do that from time to time. I'm not a reporter. The beauty of radio is you don't have to be a reporter. Like, I don't have to be like, I got a scoop. I just talk about the things that have happened and analyze the things and have a good time with it. But sometimes you stumble upon some things. So a couple of Cowboys to keep your eye on over the next 2 days, and maybe they won't get any offers for them. But I hear that Brandon Knight, your offensive lineman, and Bradley Anai, your edge pass rusher, they could be moved in the next 24 hours. Now, maybe you don't find a taker. Maybe that doesn't happen. But I just want you to know what I know. So there, I accidentally have to be a reporter today. I got a scoop for you. Now, the reason that it's going to be incredibly easy for the Cowboys to cut down to their 53-man roster is because they currently have 4 guys on the COVID list. And you want to know a secret about the COVID list? The COVID list doesn't count against your roster. So who is it? It's CD, it's Connor Williams, it's KZ, I'm missing somebody. They got 4 guys on the COVID list, okay? So as of tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central, when you have to cut down your roster, those names don't even count, and they'll obviously be on your team, which means that what they can do is guys like Neville Gallimore, Sean McEwen, tight end, Josh Ball, their 4th-round draft pick on the offensive line. Those guys, they can easily keep them to the 53, slap them on injured reserve where they can return 6 weeks into the year or whatever. Or wait, that's at least 3 weeks. They've changed the IR rules. But you can slide those guys onto IR after you've kept them on the roster. And you have plenty of spots to keep all the guys you could want to keep, because when you bring guys off the COVID list, you can cut whoever you want to cut, but that won't involve the guys you put on IR, whatever. What I'm telling you is the Cowboys are not going to have a problem keeping all the guys that they want to keep, but keep your eye on Brandon Knight. Keep your eye on Bradley Anai. Malik Hooker is going to make the Cowboys team. Jerry Jones said it on 105.3 The Fan, which is a good place to listen for your Cowboys news, so you know that now. And another guy that I think is going to make this team is when you watch the Cowboys versus Jaguars. Israel Mukwamu had a tipped interception and a nice blitz where he forced a pressure. I think it was a 3rd down, which forced a 4th down punt. So Israel Mukwamu, I believe, is a dude that is going to make this football team as well. And so that's nice for him. There's a nice piece that was written on him, I think yesterday, came out today, from my buddy Trevor Sikkema. He's at Pro Football Focus now. He was at the Draft Network, but he's a sweet man. And he wrote about Israel Mukwamu, and it's a nice little article. It's a good little read, and you can enjoy that. Outside of that, I don't have, well, here's the interesting nugget on Mukwamu from the article. Here is where Israel Mukwamu, your 6th-round draft pick, quote, safety, has lined up in the preseason. 30 snaps at free safety, 60 snaps in the slot, 41 snaps in the box, and 22 snaps along the line of scrimmage. That's versatility. Dan Quinn is going to like versatility. So pencil Israel Mukwamu into your roster. Outside of that, I would love to do a full review of that preseason game, but I can give you a couple of nuggets, a couple of things that were top of mind watching it. One, NFL starters are better than NFL backups and guys who aren't going to make football teams. We learned that. You know, Trevor Lawrence is out there throwing to Laviska Shenault. They've got, they were playing a ton of starters, and the Cowboys weren't. So you got your butts kicked. The tough part about it was we're going to have to check on Kelvin Joseph. Hurt the groin, making a really good tackle that forced a 3rd and 4, which led to Nashawn Wright batting down a pass, which led to a punt. But that was really about the only good series that you saw from the young DBs. Nashawn Wright gave up a touchdown. He gave up another deep ball to Devin Smith. They're young secondary guys. It'll be tough to decide to throw those guys into the fire because you're going to feel better with Anthony Brown on a football field right now than you would with Kelvin Joseph or Nashawn Wright, or if you have another guy that you like. Kennedy, you can trust. Maurice Kennedy, you can trust. But I don't know, man. I feel better about Joseph than Wright because I feel, but you guys know how I am with the tall corners. Like Mukwamu being 6'4", it kind of works because they're moving him around and he's being asked to do a lot of different things. And so his length helps him in terms of fighting off blockers in the run game and wrapping up tackles. My fear of 6'4" corners is sometimes we play man defense and it gets hard to change direction. You saw that on the out and up touchdown on Nashawn Wright. So that stuff worries me. I hope he turns into a really good player, but I have my hesitations about the 6'4" cornerback. And Kelvin Joseph was okay, but nothing that would blow your doors off and say, man, you got to get this guy on a football field. So they'll have a decision to make. At what point do they want to give Kelvin Joseph an opportunity to be a starter over Anthony Brown? I just don't think it'll be in week 1 because I think they'll want to run out the guys that they trust. But we shall see. Outside of that, not a lot came out of that game. You didn't have your starters playing. You didn't have most of your good players playing. The backup quarterbacks were both, all right. Backup quarterbacks, when you zoom out and just look at the preseason that they've had, they're similar, and they've been good. A lot of guys are good in the preseason when defenses, generally speaking, aren't going to try to do a whole lot to you. So at backup quarterback, just go with whatever their context clues are telling you, which I guess for the moment would say Cooper Rush because he played before Garrett Gilbert played. I honestly don't have a big preference between the two. I think the Cowboys need to be doing their due diligence and watching around the league for who gets released. Can I get Dwayne Haskins released in Pittsburgh? Maybe try that route. Do you want to trade a late-round pick for Nick Foles? I mean, the team's dead in the water if Dak gets hurt. We know that. But if you wanted to have a backup quarterback that you could believe in, I don't think he's on the roster. And for a lot of teams, that's okay. They just say, we're not going to worry about it. We got a certain amount of dollars to spend. We ain't going to spend it on the backup quarterback. We're going to spend it on trying to win football games with the starting quarterback. And just know that we're effed if we lose him. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Both of their backup running backs, Knox went before Hardy, if that tells you anything, if they're going to keep 3 running backs. But either one of them, I think, would make it to your practice squad, no problem. I don't think you have to keep either one of them. And they've got, again, all the roster wiggle room they could dream of in terms of keeping whatever DBs, whatever linebackers, if you wanted to have Luke Gifford make the team, whatever defensive linemen, if you have extra guys that you're wanting to hold on to, because they have 4 guys on the COVID list, that is going to give them the opportunity to keep anybody that they want. But keep your eyes peeled because there is the possibility that today or tomorrow you may hear that the Cowboys have traded Bradley and or Brandon Knight. Just a matter of if teams are interested, because I hear that they are on the block. I think that's all I got for you today. I'm glad you stopped by. It's good to see you. I love you. Shout out to Andre 3000, Cloud Strife, Gandalf, all those people. Leave in the comments, youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh, on this video, what you would like to hear about tomorrow as we are creeping to the regular season. Let's go. We're almost there. Hang in there, kids. We're getting there. Remember that I want to know if you like crunchy or creamy peanut butter in the comments and your favorite flavor of jelly. Obviously, grape is the go-to, but what about when you're getting wild? What do you like there? All right, remember, you have no idea what anybody is going through, so be cool to everybody. I love you. Bye.